All right. So happy Monday. We put together this presentation on how to apply for the examination so that we can make sure everyone is on the same page, the schools and the applicants. We get a lot of deficient applications, and so we're just trying to help smooth the process out for everyone and make sure that everyone understands everything that is required when applying for the examination. So first up, the mission of the board is to ensure the health and safety of California consumers by promoting ethical standards and by enforcing the laws of barbering and the beauty industry. So the board regulates cosmetologists, barbers, manicurists, estheticians, electrologists, personal service permits, apprentices, and establishments. And establishments are the businesses that our licensees provide services in. All right. So to get right into it, to apply for the exam, our applicants can either apply online on Breeze, so that's breeze.ca.gov, or they can apply by mail. If they apply by mail, the the mailing address is at the top of the application, but we highly recommend applying online. It's quicker for the application to get processed, about 3 weeks quicker. It doesn't have to go through a cashiering unit and have any check or money order cashiered. So we highly recommend applying online. And applications that cannot be submitted online are those that have interpreters or reasonable accommodations. If you have either of those, you need to apply by mail. Okay, and then to apply online, you can visit barbercosmo.ca.gov, and we have a forms, like the link is on here, but there's a forms page and it has a link to apply online when you click the examination application. And you can also just visit breeze.ca.gov and log into your account. To apply by mail, you can visit our website, barbercosmo.ca.gov. You can click the examinations tab under the forms and publications link at the top of the website. And from there, you can find the application that you need to apply with and submit it by mail with a check or money order. Be sure that you are submitting a proof of training document. It's very important to submit the proof of training document with the application. So the proof of training is a specific document that applicants get from their school. It's not transcripts, it's a specific form, and it's called a proof of training document. Again, it's very important that you're submitting this with the examination application. If you don't, your application will be significantly delayed, and the application will move to the back of the line. Just keep in mind, we're processing thousands of applications every single month, so we have a lot to get through. The fee for the application, if you're applying by mail, should be submitted to the address at the top of the application. And make sure that you're using the most current version of the application, not any old applications. So schools, if you're printing out applications and giving them out to students, we don't recommend that you keep a huge pile of them. Just print them out as a student requests them because applications do get updated and you don't want to forget to be giving them the most current version of the application. Okay, and then where it says when it's been updated is at the very bottom of the application. The current versions were last updated on February 31st, 2021. Now, if you require an interpreter, you can download and fill out the interpreter form that's on our website. So if you click Forms and Publications on the top right, and then you click Exam Application Optional Attachments, there's an interpreter application there. We have it in English, Korean, Spanish, and Vietnamese. So you can download that and then submit it with the application. And the applicant must provide their own interpreter. And again, make sure you're submitting that proof of training document with the application and the fee in the form of a check or money order if you're applying by mail. If you need a reasonable accommodation, you can also find that form on our website. So you'll click the Forms and Publications link at the top, And from there, you can click Exam Application Optional Attachments. And you'll see on our slideshow here, there's a request for accommodation, and you can download that and submit it with your application. Same thing for this, you're going to want to provide that proof of training document with your application at the same time. Don't send it in later, send it at the same time, or the application will be delayed. And then applicants can also provide a doctor's note with the reasonable accommodation form. To apply online, if you go to the Forms and Publications link at the top of our webpage at barbercosmo.ca.gov, you can click Examinations from there, and then you'll see all of our different applications. They're all translated into Korean, Spanish, and Vietnamese. And if you see that little check mark box that's green, you can click on that and it will take you to the Breeze website. And from there, you'll log in. If you need to create a new account, at the bottom of the Breeze website screen there under the login information, you're going to see new users, and you can click Breeze registration, and that's how you create an account. And it's very important that you only have one account. If you have more than one, it can also delay the application because now we're working with two different separate file numbers is what gets created on our end, and it takes a little bit to clean that up. So just make sure that you're only creating one account. And if you get locked out or you need your password reset or anything of that nature, you can always contact Breeze technical support. And that is later on our slide if you need their contact information. So the first step, when you create your Breeze account, you're going to add your license to the account or your file number. If you're already licensed with another board or bureau, and you already have an account, use that same account and you can add your new file to it. So it will ask you to add licenses to registration, and you can click yes or no and then click next. The required information it's going to ask for is your last name, the last 4 digits of your social security number or your ITIN number, your full date of birth, and it's very specific on the formatting. So for the date of birth, it's the 2 digits for a month, 2 digits for a day, and then 4 digits for the year. And then it's going to ask you to click the check mark box next to I am not a robot. So just wait for that to load. And once it looks like it's been loaded, you can click next. And again, if you have any Breeze technical support issues, you'll reach out to the Breeze technical support team. They can unlock accounts. They can give you a new password. They can help you if you have any questions about submitting your application online. Their email address is on our PowerPoint. It's breeze@dca.ca.gov, and their phone number is 916-557-1208. To start a new application, once you're in your Breeze account and you're all registered and good to go, you're going to, from the application area, you'll click the drop down, the first one, and you can click Board of Barbering and Cosmetology. And on the second drop down, you're going to click the exam application type you're wanting to apply for. So once you click that, you can then click the blue select button and it'll take you to the next step. Make sure to carefully review and complete the exam application. So make sure all of the questions you're answering are accurate. Verify your address, your phone number, and email address are correct. And again, even for online applications, make sure you're submitting your proof of training document with the application. If the proof of training document is not provided at the same time that you submit your application, it's going to significantly delay the processing of your application. Your application would be moved to the back of the line. Some of the common issues we're seeing with the proof of training documents are whited out areas. So please don't white them out, just submit a new proof of training document. And we're seeing a lot of missing signatures, either from the applicant or from the school or from both. We see a lot of incorrect schooling dates, so just make sure that, the school that you're filling that out correctly and that the applicant, you're double checking that the school filled it out correctly. We're also seeing incorrect school codes. Make sure the school code is correct. And we're seeing a lot of outdated proof of training forms. Always use the most current version. If you need the most current version and you're not sure that you have it, you can email us. You can email us at barbercosmo@dca.ca.gov. All right, so now when you're submitting your application online, and you're trying to submit your proof of training document with the application, you can upload it, and you can see on our presentation here, there is a screenshot of the page where you upload it. So the first thing you're going to do is click choose file, and then you're going to find the proof of training document on the computer. You'll click open, and it will open your POT on our Breeze site. If you see that the document is next to the choose file icon, then it's been uploaded, but you're not done yet. You want to click attach, and you can also name it. So if it's a POT, you'll put POT or proof of training, and then you can click attach, and then you can click next to move on. But make sure that you see something next to that choose file button. We don't accept diplomas or transcripts for California students, so just make sure it is that specific proof of training document that you're uploading. For students on this call, if you're not sure what a proof of training document is, you can reach out to your school and they can provide that to you. Expedited application processing. So if you were admitted to the United States as a refugee, or if you were granted asylum or have special immigrant visa, or if you're active duty military, a military spouse, or have been honorably discharged, you qualify for expedited application processing. So if you apply online, answer yes to those questions. We have a little clip here of those questions. And if you're applying by mail, make sure to check the appropriate box at the top of the application and in section B of the exam application. For reporting criminal convictions, you can get our disclosure regarding criminal convictions /pleas on our website. It's under forms and publications, and then it's under the exam optional attachments area. So if you have any past convictions that you need to disclose, you can do that by filling out this form and submitting it to us. And the more information, the better, so that we don't have to ask for additional documentation. If you have any court documents, you should probably just submit it with the form so that we can review it all off the bat. And if you haven't applied yet and you're just wondering if you would be approved for your conviction, you can submit this to us without an application. So you would just check mark the box at the top that asks if you're trying to get pre-approved for it, and then you can submit it to us. And you can email it to us or you can mail it to us. For professional or vocational licenses revoked or denied, if you've had any of that happen to you, you can use that same form that we just went over, the disclosure statement regarding disciplinary action, and you can submit that to us with your application. And again, the more information, the better. So if there's any other supporting documents you can provide to us, I would suggest providing that with the form. All right, so the online application checklist. So verify you have all the appropriate forms and that everything is complete. You should have submitted a proof of training document, super important. Make sure you submit that at the same time that you submit the application, not at a later time. Make sure you submit the payment. And then if you have any convictions, make sure you submit that disclosure statement regarding criminal convictions. And if you have had any licenses revoked with another board or bureau or any sort of discipline there, you can submit your disclosure statement regarding disciplinary action to us. For paper or mailed applications, you'll want to verify that you have all the appropriate forms and that everything is complete. So you should have submitted an exam application, a proof of training document, a payment, either in check or money order form, and it can be made out to the Board of Barbering and Cosmetology. An interpreter form if you need one, or a reasonable accommodation form if you need one. And if you had any disciplinary action or criminal convictions, you can submit one of those forms. Just make sure it all gets submitted in one package. All right, so for us to approve your application, once we go through your entire application and we see that everything meets our guidelines, we'll approve it and you'll be notified that you were approved. PSI will send you a booklet in the mail that has information on the exam, and it has information on how to schedule your exam, and PSI is our exam vendor. And if for some reason you didn't get a PSI booklet, you can always contact them. Their number is 877-392-6422. So taking the exam. We now only have a written exam. There's no practical exam anymore. And to prepare for the exam, you can review information regarding the examination webpage on our website, and the link is on this PowerPoint. After the exam. So if you passed your exam the same day, if you passed your exam the same day, you'll be handed your license. And if you fail the exam, you can submit a re-examination application via mail or online. But again, we encourage you submitting it online. It's much quicker. So that was our presentation. All of this information will be available on our website. Within a few days, we'll send out another email when it's available. I also wanted to show you a couple of attachments we'll have on our website that are helpful. So we'll have our exam quick tips for California students page. It's just kind of an overview of everything you need to know to apply for the exam. So it has the hours needed for all the different license types, has information on how to apply for the exam, how to create your Breeze account. And again, it tells you about how to attach that proof of training document if you're applying online. It has the Breeze technical support information on there, just everything you'll need to know to apply for the exam. And then we'll also be posting on our website a flowchart on how to apply for the exam. So it kind of takes you through the process and what happens if you're approved or if you're deficient, what happens if you fail the exam or if you pass the exam. And it's just another helpful tool. So this meeting was also recorded, so we're going to have the recording on our website within a few days also. Thank you all so much for listening in. I guess we'll go to public comment.
This is the moderator. So public comments are to be solely related to clarifying how to apply for the exam online or by mail. There is a limit of 2 minutes. If you would like to participate, click on the question mark that's inside of a square, typically located bottom right corner of your WebEx screen. And in the text field, you can enter your question or say or type comment. I would like to make a comment. You can also raise your hand by hovering your mouse or cursor over your name and clicking on the outline of a hand. So we'll take a moment, be silent for a moment to allow people to access these features.
Okay, and moderator, should I go ahead and just read off the question?
Yes, and just a quick announcement here. I'm uploading a slide that will have the instructions also there for people to follow along. But yes, continue.
Perfect, thank you. The first question we got is, having a diploma or GED not required anymore. So for all of our license types except electrology, they have to have completed the 10th grade or the equivalent. And for electrology, it's the 12th grade or the equivalent.
Alex, BPPE may have certain requirements on what's required. So they would need to check with BPPE on whether diplomas or GEDs are required. The Board of Barbering and Cosmetology only requires the proof of training document for California students.
Okay, next question. Will there be an option for the student to get notified by email or text to sign up for the PSI exam? Not currently. You never know what the future holds, but no, not currently. They're mailed their booklet from PSI, and that tells them how to register for the exam. Is the most updated POT available online? It is not available on our website. If you need the most updated version of it, you can go ahead and email barbercosmo@dca.ca.gov, and we'll go ahead and scan for your emails today. Maybe title it something like newest version of POT in the subject line, and we'll take a look for those emails today.
And those documents will only be sent to authorized school representatives.
How can I access a new POT form? So we just covered that. Do we need to submit a copy of the student's driver's license when applying online? You don't have to, it's not required, but we recommend it because the ID when they go to the exam site needs to match their application's name. So we just want to make sure it's all the same. So it would be helpful if you did submit a copy of the driver's license. Can you put on this slide where we can review the test? You can look at the examination bulletin, which is on our website, and PSI, when they send the booklet, it has information on the exam. When can we apply online? So as soon as you're done with your training at your school and they give you a proof of training document, you can then apply online. Several students have submitted the application and a proof of training document. Some have done it here using our school computer, and I personally make sure they click on attach when they upload the proof of training, and they still receive an email saying they did not receive it. Okay, if you come across those issues, please email us with the file number or that applicant's name and social security number, and we will look it up. I do know there's some confusion though. Sometimes people think they've attached the proof of training document, but for whatever reason, maybe they clicked on too quickly onto the next screen and it never had a chance to load. Something technical like that could have happened. Do we still submit a copy of the applicant's state issued ID? So we covered that. It's helpful if you do submit that, but it's not required. Is there a place we can print the slides? I will have the PowerPoint available on the website within a few days, and we will send out an email blast when it's available. When creating a Breeze account, should a student add a license to registration if this is their first time becoming licensed? No, they should not. 8 weeks processing time for application is accurate, or currently it is higher or lower? It's about accurate, maybe a little bit faster, but it does fluctuate week by week depending on how many different application types we're getting. What is the applicant to expect if there is a prior conviction? How do we inform the applicant regarding their conviction before starting school? They just need to, it's really on a case-by-case basis. We have to evaluate it. So they should submit that disclosure statement regarding their conviction to us. They can do that before they apply if they want to know if they'll be accepted. And the more information, the better. How do we get out-of-state licenses or training evaluated prior to applying for a state board? So if you're trying to apply as an out-of-state applicant, and you just want to know if those hours from out of state will be accepted, you can submit the Form B to us before you apply, and along with some sort of authenticated statement that shows the courses and the hours taken in each course. Is anyone able to create a Breeze account with an ID number? Yes, anyone can create a Breeze account. If you have any troubles with that, reach out to Breeze Technical Support and they'll be able to help you. If a student did not finish the program but is over 1,000 hours, will they be allowed to apply as long as they have a POT? No. So there's confusion here about the new 1,000-hour requirement and finishing programs. So just because a student gets to 1,000 hours does not mean they can apply and be accepted. Their school has to be approved for a 1,000-hour program, and that student has to have completed the entire program. So maybe your school has a 1,300-hour program and the student gets to 1,000 hours. They cannot just apply, they have to finish that entire program. What is the date of the most updated version of the proof of training document? I don't have that in front of me. It looks like Carrie's looking it up.
Yep. It is December of 2021.
I work in a prison. What is the wait time for approval to test? It's the same, so it can be up to 8 weeks. And if they apply online, it's quicker. There was a link to review exam mentioned. Is that a review of the questions? It's not necessarily a review of the questions, but more the content of the exam. So you can look at the examination bulletin on our website, and PSI also mails out that same booklet with that information. Eight weeks processing time for an application is accurate. Oh, that's the same question. How long does it take for students to apply online to get a response back? So our normal processing times are up to 8 weeks, but it's about 3 weeks quicker if you apply online. So where do I access the document to be added as an authorized school representative? Carrie, should we? Just a moment, Carrie.
The school's email. Trying to find the exact verbiage.
Okay.
bbc.schools@dca.ca.gov.
Can you read that off one more time, Carrie? Sounded like it cut out.
Is bbc.schools@dca.ca.gov. If you want to request a signature page for the school or the proof of training document for the school. You have to be a school representative in order to get that form.
Can this conference be viewed later via YouTube or BBC webpage? Yes, it will be available on our website within a few days. We will send out an email blast when it's available. It looks like someone is requesting our current proof of training document. We will get that over to you. Students get confused on the 10-question part of the application where it says state approved school/apprentice and think it means apprentice only. Also, why not make it easy and say online application instead of green dot? Attach versus next, that should be changed, very confusing. Lastly, if the student received 1,600.75 hours, do we put the 7.5 hours on the POT? So thank you for all of your comments. We'll definitely, I mean, we're always trying to make things more efficient and smooth for our applicants. So we're definitely taking that to heart. And as for your question, yes, I would put that 0.75 hours on the POT. It should be accurate. Can apprenticeship students apply online? No, they cannot. When we apply online, do I need to attach the proof of training document and fee at the same time? Yes. So if you're applying online, you need to upload that proof of training document. And if you don't, it's going to significantly delay your application. So please make sure to upload your proof of training document at the same time you're applying. And it'll prompt you to pay the fee when you're applying online. You guys verify the apprentice hours and if they complete the 10th grade? If so, how? What would be acceptable documents they will need to have on hand? Thank you in advance. So yes, we do require that they complete the 10th grade. And we're verifying that they completed the hours because the sponsor is signing off on that as well as the applicant. So we're definitely looking at those hours. Someone asked, even for people with convictions, is 8 weeks? Yes, correct. An applicant can go ahead and pay online via Breeze now. Is this correct? Yes, they can pay online. It'll be the last step when they're applying online. It'll prompt them to pay. Do I still need to give students a proof of training in a sealed envelope? No, that was for our pre-application, which is no longer in existence. So the students you should be giving the student their proof of training document so that they can apply with us, but they don't need to take that to the exam. They should just be submitting that when they apply online or with their mailed application. What is the technical support contact information? So the Breeze technical support email address is breeze@dca.ca.gov, and their phone number is 916-557-1208. If we don't pass our first exam, how long do we have to wait to retake it? You don't have to wait. You could submit your reexamination application that same day if you wanted to. I have a student who has been allowed to apply this way after being dismissed. She had 1,300 hours. Again, I'm not sure what you were trying to ask there, but they need to complete the entire program. So if your program is 1,600 hours like it used to be for cosmetologists, they need to complete the 1,600 hours. If it's 1,000, that's great too, as long as you've been approved for it. How does the student get notified their examination application has been approved? So once it's approved, they'll get a booklet in the mail from PSI, which is our exam vendor, and it tells them how to schedule their exam and it has information about the exam. If an older version of the proof of training, okay, if that was emailed in with the application, you really should be submitting the most current version of the proof of training document. And if you need that, you can reach out to us. You can email us at barbercosmo@dca.ca.gov. Can students create their Breeze account before needing to apply for the exam? Yes, so they can create their account any amount of time before they apply for their exam. Looks like we have a Spanish question. We might have to get back to you on that one. Can students create Breeze account ahead of time? That's the same question. If we don't pass our exam, how long do we have to wait to retake it? That's the same. Can you please repeat the support information? Yes, so Breeze Technical Support's email address is breeze@dca.ca.gov. And their phone number is 916-557-1208. if students forget to attach their proof of training, how would they submit their proof of training? We have a new email inbox for proof of training documents that they should be submitting those to if they forget to attach them. And that email inbox, let me just verify really quick, it's brand new. It is bbcpots@dca.ca.gov. So again, they really need to be submitting their proof of training document at the same time they apply, or their examination application is going to be significantly delayed. But if for some reason they did forget to attach it or submit it with their mailed application, they can email it to us at bbcpots@dca.ca.gov. Can the apprentice apply on their own? I think there's some parts that the sponsor has to sign off on. So yes, they can submit the application, I believe. I'm trying to recall the form. But I know there's some places that the sponsor is going to have to sign. Carrie, do you want to?
Have to submit their completion form that's provided by the sponsor as well.
If the student applied for the exam through the mail and did not pass, can they reapply online? Yes, they can. So just because you applied by mail at any point doesn't mean you can't apply online in the future. Do we need to give the students an updated proof of training if they graduated, completed their training prior to the new proof of training version? It would be helpful if you did. So if you can, that would be great. Can you please repeat the email to get a newer version of the proof of training? You can email that to barbercosmo@dca.ca.gov. And if you put the subject line as updated proof of training, we'll scan for those emails today and get back to you. Looks like we're at the end of our questions. Does anyone else have any questions? How do you apply the ID to the online application? So that's only if they have held a license with another board or bureau under the Department of Consumer Affairs. So for example, maybe they had a guard card or something like that, and they already have a Breeze account with that guard card or whatever license attached to it. They would need to add their new file to the account. And if you have any difficulties with that, you can reach out to the Breeze technical support team. Okay. So again, I'm going to go ahead and have this PowerPoint and the recording and the couple of additional attachments we had posted to our website within a few days, and we'll send out an email blast to let you guys know when it's available. And then I just got one more question, a couple more questions. So they will need to show ID at the test site. Yes, correct. They'll need to show their government issued photo ID.
It has to be current. Has to be current government issued ID.
I just sent out 8 applications through the mail for my students to exam. I sent in the older version of the proof of training. Will that cause a problem? No, we'll go ahead and process those. But we really encourage the most current versions of the proof of training document and applications be submitted to us. All right, thank you all so much for listening in. Again, if you need the most current version of the proof of training document, you can email us at barbercosmo@dca.ca.gov. Make the subject line updated proof of training, and we will look for those today and try to get back to you quickly. Thank you so much.